I would now like to invite Tia Osso to the stage. Tia is an international activist and strategist for Build Power and is known for leading the historic hashtag Say Her Name action and as a hashtag Black Lives Matter activist. We were also thrilled to have her speak at our San Diego Unlock rally. Welcome, Tia.
Good afternoon, everyone. I first just want to say thank you to NOW, and especially to my good friend Christian Nunes, who we've organized together for over the last 10 years on various issues. I thank you for her leadership, this compelling, groundbreaking campaign, and leading NOW's racial justice work, and now National Vice President. Really excited to see how amazing this organization can continue to be, right, and grow into the future, and especially with the Unlock the Future campaign. I think that the previous speakers have said everything that I would say about the utter hypocrisy of our government and the atrocious conditions that these women and girls are facing, and the need for not just the legislation but this Bill of Rights to be adopted and ratified, and for us to push. And so I want to do two things then with my remarks today, is to talk about what Ruby and Kendrick and other folks have said about what it is that we can do and must do leaving today, and I also want to engage us in exercise to talk about and begin to imagine what the future that we want. So first and foremost, as everyone has said today, these atrocious things that we've heard about today are being done in our name. They are being done in our name, they are being done with our tax dollars, and at this point they are being done with our permission. We have to sit with that, and we have to take responsibility, and we have to be held accountable for that. It's not enough for us to feel bad. It's not enough for us to have sympathy. It's certainly not enough for us to know about what's going on and not do anything about it. In my career as a human rights activist and working on racial justice and migrant rights, I've advocated for several cases of Black immigrants held here in Carnes Detention Facility here in Texas, where some of the most atrocious conditions, where women are being denied medical care, being treated with cruelty and abuse, and almost mocked, right, for their situation. I know all too well exactly what people go through in detention here, and I also know all too well how hard it is to get support for these issues, as though it doesn't have anything to do with us, but it has everything to do with us, and we need to feel as though it is happening directly to us. And in our conversation yesterday, we began to talk about how important it is that we recognize that this is a collective issue, and that we are the collective, and that our humanity is interconnected with one another. And so when until all of us are free, none of us are free. We are all locked up right now, and so we need to fight like hell as though we are fighting for our own freedom and liberation, because that's exactly what it is that we're doing. And so anything and everything that you can do, tell everyone that you know about it, and tell everyone that you know about it to tell everyone that they know about it, and the people that represent them, because they claim that they are representing us, let the people that represent you know that this does not represent me. The treatment of women and girls in immigrant detention, the caging of anyone in the United States of America, so-called home of the free, does not represent me. When you stand up for the most marginalized in our society, what you are actually doing is standing up for yourself. And I want us to remember that, and I want us to act like it, and I want us to fight like it. Next, I want us to all close our eyes, take a deep breath, and release it. Our government spends, billions of dollars on the caging and the criminalizing and the catching and the cruelty of people in detention, of people in prison. We even export these policies and teach other people, other countries, how to detain immigrants and to quote unquote control their borders and secure their freedom and safety through the terrorizing and violence and inhumanity of others. What I want us to do right now is to imagine, what if these same time, talent, energy, and resources, thousands of staff, billions of dollars, were spent on welcoming those who are most in need of help, most in need of hospitality, most in need of health care, most in need of hope and freedom and liberation and joy that we say that we stand for. What would it look like for us to embody those values in the receiving of people who are in distress, and the receiving of people who are in in the desperate time in their lives, and all it is that they need is help. What would that look like? What would the Welcome Center actually look like? What would our border look like? How would they be greeted? How would they be treated? What would we have available to them? What would we have available to people who, as Kendrick said, have walked for 4 months in treacherous terrain? It would look like healthcare, it would look like housing, it would look like welcoming, it would look like a smile, it would look like a friendly face, it would look like having resources in every language that they speak, right? It would look like meeting each and every need. It would look like families actually being together and treated like family. It would feel like hope, it would feel like joy, it would feel like love, it would feel like freedom, it would feel like liberty. The way it makes us feel to hear about what's happening, right, lets us know that something is wrong and that something must be done. And I also want us to tap into the feeling of what it is that we want to create together and use that to motivate us to move forward and unlock the future right now in our minds and our hearts so that we can go out and unlock the future in reality. Thank you so much.